Imagine, if you will, a 600-year-old man. Let's call him Noah. His 600-year-old wife, their 3 elderly sons, and their daughters-in-law. Noah has received a weather report from a truly impeccable source, the Lord God Almighty himself. God is really pissed off with the people he created, so he decides that the rational thing to do is kill them all, except for Noah and his family, because they're good, righteous people. He is omniscient, so he knew for certain that killing those people was the right way to teach them to behave. He decides that he will let it rain for 40 days and 40 nights and drown those wicked people. He spoke them all into existence, so why couldn't he just speak them out of it? After all, he is God and he works in delirious ways his wonders to perform. And, as I learned during my religious instruction classes at high school, you must never question God. Noah probably learned that lesson in school too. I wonder if he had to write out, "I must never question God," 100 times like I did. God contacts Noah and tells him his plans. He tells Noah it's going to rain for days on end and that Noah must build a boat to save himself and his family. He tells Noah that he has to collect 2 of every kind of animal on the planet, mice to elephants, fairy penguins to ostriches, puppy dogs to lions, sheep to cattle, and throw in a few dinosaurs for good measure. God gives Noah the instructions on how to build the boat, including its dimensions. The boat is to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high, or about 134 by 22 by 13 meters. While the women on board are busy preparing food, cleaning, and so on, the men are busy feeding the animals the mountains of food they need to stay healthy. Mice and puppies don't eat much, but elephants and herbivorous dinosaurs consume hundreds of kilograms of food every day. That's a lot of food that Noah and his sons must move around. That food doesn't stay in the animal's gut. Some of it is pooped out. Tiny little poops for mice, maybe a few grams, and around 75 kilograms a day for the elephants. With tens of thousands of animals on board, that's a gigantic amount of poop. The boat's volume is over 500,000 cubic meters, which sounds like a lot of space. But once you consider the volume of the 8 humans, all the animals, and the food required for them, there isn't much space left to store the mountain of poop they produce. Noah has no option but to shovel that mountain of poop overboard every day. He's going to spend what little time he has left after feeding the animals, feeding himself, and having that 8 hours sleep every day, shoveling poop. Not only do those animals produce mountains of poop, but they also produce methane every day, thousands upon thousands of liters of the stuff. Now for a little bit more about the boat. The Bible describes it as having a door in its side. Noah and his family dare not leave the door open due to the stormy seas because the boat might flood, causing it to sink. It only has one small window, which leads to a ventilation problem because that window is the only ventilation available for the boat. So, how does Noah ensure that the methane gets vented? The short answer is that he doesn't do anything about it because he has no idea methane even exists. It's just an obnoxious odor. With extremely poor ventilation, the concentration of methane builds up. Poor old Noah. He spent the entire day feeding the animals, shoveling poop overboard, and now wants to relax for a while. He sits down at the end of the day, puts his feet up, and instructs his wife to make him a nice hot cup of cocoa to drink before he goes to bed. He leans back in his chair, which, if you remember, is in a boat laden with methane, takes out a big fat cigar, strikes a match to light up, and then